My name is Bryan Adams. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict. I've never smoked marijuana or even a cigarette. I don't have any DUIs, and prior to starting Celebrate Recovery, I haven't been to jail. By the world's standard, I'm a pretty straight-laced guy. I'm a child of divorce. The divorce was a result of an affair that my mother had. After the affair, my father offered my mother custody of me and the house. She declined on both. I went several years without any type of contact with my mother at all. A few years later, by the time I started kindergarten, my mom reestablished contact. It was so that she could make a new happy family with the man that she had had an affair with. My stable life that I had with my dad and my stepmother went out the window every other weekend when I was with my mother. The instability with my mother led me to the first time that I was sexually abused in my life. I was around the age of 5. It was a girl from the trailer park that my mom lived in. A few years later, my bully that was my stepsister, who was significantly older and significantly larger, became my sexual abuser. This activated a part of me that my mind and body was not ready for. I know that part to be lust. As I grew older, the distance between my mother and I grew. This left a hole in my heart, a hole in my life that I tried to fill with the instant gratification of one-night stands. Whenever I was in a relationship with someone, it would be an empty, meaningless relationship that usually resulted in me getting cheated on, and then me chasing after them, trying to fix it when there was no fix, just so that I wouldn't be alone. When I was at my bottom morally and spiritually in my life is when God blessed me with the greatest gift He's ever given me. My wife, Scout Spell Adams. She filled the hole that was in my heart for a loving, nurturing, caring, and supportive woman. She filled it in ways that I never imagined it being filled. She is the love of my life, and again, she is the greatest gift I've ever been given. Even after my marriage to Scout, I still was battling my addiction to pornography, an addiction that I'd had since I was 12 years old. I came to face with my addiction one night when Scout came home from work early and caught me. This began the lying and the denial, putting darkness into our relationship, inviting sin into my home. I've heard it said before, you can tell a man's relationship with Jesus by his relationship with his wife. My relationship with Jesus and my relationship with my wife was based on lies, deception, hiding, lust, and pornography. Even after my salvation, I continued to struggle with pornography. The Holy Spirit led me to Celebrate Recovery. Celebrate Recovery was having a guest speaker, and multiple people reached out to me throughout the course of a couple days, inviting me to Celebrate Recovery. Like any addict, you need your time for your addiction. My time was Friday night, and that was my biggest objection of going to Celebrate Recovery. After talking to Scout, after all the phone calls and the text messages, she asked me if I was going to finally go to Celebrate Recovery. I got so angry with her that I cursed at her and hung up the phone. In a moment of clarity, I realized that if people are reaching out to me, trying to draw me closer to Christ and trying to remove this hidden sin from my life, and it's making me so angry, that's the exact reason that I need to go to Celebrate Recovery. Since I've started Celebrate Recovery, my walk with Jesus has never been better. I began opening up in the men's small group. I began removing my mask. I fully repented of my sin. I became the priest of my home, because up to that point, with me living in hidden sin, I couldn't have been the priest of my home. My wife was the spiritual leader of the house until Celebrate Recovery. I celebrate recovery so that I may celebrate my sanctification. In November, at the chip ceremony, I will receive my 1-year chip for porn sobriety. I choose to break my anonymity today so that one person can be set free from their hidden sin. I know that it's the non-talked about, victimless sin that the devil is telling all of us as the men in the church. I can tell you from personal experience, after coming clean with my wife and the look in her face, it is not a victimless sin. I love Celebrate Recovery for the fellowship, the accountability, the acceptance, and the love, the Jesus love that you receive every week at Celebrate Recovery. My name is Bryan. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, and I celebrate recovery from childhood sexual abuse, pornography, lust, and mommy issues. Thank you for letting me share.